Welcome to Weekly Drone News, where we're covering what's happening in almost real time. First, drones light up the sky at Amherstburg Uncommon Festival. Skydio announces a new docking platform for its X10 model. A 10-year-old girl was rescued with the help of a thermal drone. And good news for United States drone pilots amid tensions rising regarding the potential drone ban. New leaks emerge as a potential successor to the DJI Mavic 3, and a man in Boston faces a $5,000 fine after flying too close to the Boston Marathon. We've got a lot of topics to cover this week, so let's dive right in. My name is Cameron, and this is Coastal Drone Weekly News. Last week, attendees from the Amherstburg Uncommon Festival in Ontario were greeted with lights from above during its very first drone light show. The Uncommon Festival celebrates all things magic, steampunk culture, and takes inspiration from the Victorian industrial age. The show consisted of 100 drones that lit up the night sky as they flew to create iconic symbols and characters, all relating to the industrial theme. Drones across the world are being used to create spectacular shows that leave audiences amazed by their capabilities. It's worth noting that as a pilot, you can only operate one drone at a time unless the system you are using is designed to control multiple drones. And in that case, the limit would be up to 5. If you were to exceed the limit of 5 or fly at an advertised event such as this, you would need to acquire a special flight operations certificate. If you're interested, we've made a whole video regarding special flight operations certificates. Check it out. In another good news story, in Louisiana, a 10-year-old girl went missing but was fortunately rescued by police with the help of a thermal drone. At about 10 p.m. on September the 14th, Peyton Saint-Ignan disappeared from her home, leaving her family desperate to find her. After an hour of searching, the family called in for help as state police and volunteers came rushing to find the missing girl. After hearing the news, local drone pilot Josh Klober from Arkansas offered to help in any way he could. With the use of his thermal camera drone, Klober was able to locate Peyton after just 30 minutes of searching. Using the spotlight feature, he was able to successfully lead volunteers towards Peyton for a successful rescue. Fortunately, Peyton was found unharmed and had been sleepwalking, leading to her disappearance. Thermal drones are proving to be incredibly important when used to locate missing people, especially at night. On September 25th, Skydio announced a new docking platform designed specifically for their X10 Enterprise drone. With the use of the dock, pilots can operate the drone remotely and send critical information to others without putting themselves at risk or using additional resources. It features a super rugged design that allows the drone to stay protected in all weather conditions. With this system, pilots of the X10 will be able to launch the drone in just 20 seconds and get unlimited 5G connection with the help of the dock's Starlink connection. On September 24th, we learned that the Senate manager did not include the amendment that would ban Chinese-made drones in the current version of the National Defense Authorization Act. The National Defense Authorization Act is an annual act that provides resources, funding, and further clarification to the defense authorities. Since there was a disagreement between the House and the Senate, the bill will now be passed to a subcommittee to determine the final outcome. If the bill were to go into effect, new Chinese-made drones would be prohibited from being sold and imported into the United States. If you already own a drone, you would still likely be able to operate it. However, at the current time, things are rapidly changing and nothing is concrete. Drone enthusiasts are speculating that the successor to the DJI Mavic 3 is being developed after new leaks emerged. Earlier this week, an image from Quadro News on X, formerly Twitter, surfaced showcasing a new drone that is allegedly being tested. The image depicts a bunch of flagship SLR cameras as well as the original Mavic 3 Pro Cine, all taped together for what we can only assume is a test of the different camera systems. If we look closely, we can see a drone with a slightly different shape to it. The gimbal looks to be of a circular design. A larger size could mean that the next generation will be getting a bigger sensor, which brings better low-light performance. If this image is accurate, it would indicate that DJI is likely going to be raising the bar even higher when it comes to image quality for the next iteration of the Mavic series. We have to stress that this is only a leaked image and should be taken with a grain of salt. There will likely be significant improvements and polishments to the design of this drone as development continues. But considering the original Mavic 3 launched in late 2021, it really wouldn't surprise us if DJI is planning to release a new version in the near future. A man in Boston, Massachusetts is now facing a $5,000 fine after flying his Mavic too close to the Boston Marathon finish line back in April. 30-year-old Alan Nip decided to fly his drone just a few blocks away from the finish line of the marathon, despite the fact that a temporary flight restriction was set in place surrounding the Boston Marathon, and was issued by a NOTAM. Police were able to seize the drone mid-flight and assess it for any potential hazards at a safe location back in Back Bay area. Authorities then confronted Nip in his apartment on West Springfield Street and gathered more information about the flight. Nip then faced a $5,000 fine and was ordered to hand over the drone, and it was worth approximately $4,000. The penalties for flying drones within national defense airspace are extremely high, and violators can face up to 1 year in prison and a $100,000 fine. Regardless of the size of the drone, if you want to fly at an advertised event in Canada, you must get permission from the event organizer, and the drone must have the appropriate safety assurance declaration. You will also need to be aware of any NOTAMs that have been put in place and ensure that you are operating in a way that is safe to the event and others. If the drone weighs over 250 grams, you will need to apply for a special flight operation certificate in order to fly at the event. Thanks for watching this episode of Coastal Drone News. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next week for more. In this week's podcast episode, we're diving into how to travel with your drone. It airs this Sunday at 10 a.m., so make sure to catch that. Thanks everyone, we'll see you later.